look at baseball, they're piping in crowd noise. When you look at basketball, they're making it sound like it's an NBA game, the announcers and all the stuff that goes on the court. So couldn't Seattle, as an example, say, usually we have this many people, it's this loud, it's all documented. We want to blast crowd noise during the game.
Yeah, I think what I think would be interesting to see, and I think they are working on something, is if there's a way that you can get some of the fans that would have been at the stadium to kind of go on some kind of a voice thing. Maybe that's some way to do it. Get the individual fans to come in there along with the crowd noise. But how loud they can make it, I don't know. But I know they're experimenting with it, and there will be some crowd noise. But is it going to work or not work? Hard to tell.
I know. I guess that would be my argument. If I were the Seahawks, I'd be like, listen, NFL, we got no fans here. But in Kansas City, they've got 16,000. And so they're able to do it there. We're not able to do it here. But everybody knows that if they had to come here, this is what it would sound like. So even though we don't have people here, we want the noise here because that's our advantage.
But again, how much noise can 16,000 people make? I mean, it's almost like going to a Miami Marlins game, a season opener. I guess it gets 16,000 for a Marlins game. Can they make the noise, particularly when they're going to be socially 6 feet apart?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that even with 16,000, the Chiefs might still want to pump in some crowd noise.
That was going to be my next question is, even if there is 16,000 fans there, that's not like having 60,000 fans there. For these guys, 16,000 fans is a huge disappointment, regardless of what type of situation we're in, because they're not used to playing that way. So do you think that's going to affect the players as well?
I think it will, yeah, because, you can even hear from LeBron and some of the NBA players how strange they feel that, you can't – you can hear too much, I guess, but you're not hearing enough noise. And in some cases, it takes, I think, energy away. That's the one thing. When you get a defense in the fourth quarter on home field and they get jacked up with the crowd, it's a big, big advantage. And so it is going to be a little more difficult, I think, to get the energy going. But again, hey, it's football, and fortunately, I'm guaranteeing we're going to have it.
Now, that's interesting, John. You say, you're guaranteeing we're going to have it.
Yeah. Well, here's why. It's like, because I keep track of everything. There was 109 positive tests. They theoretically, I know John Ross of Cincinnati, he is on the COVID test, but that's only because he had to come out to California to be with his wife and sibling who has the virus. But we're down to a point right now where there's only like about 7 players that are in the COVID's program. So we've gone through over 100 players that have now had their tests and been able to now get past. And what we're also finding is that in the last 2 weeks, there have been more false tests than there have been positive tests. Because it's only been like about maybe 4 or 5 players that have been getting on the COVID's program. And most of those players, like out of 3 for the New Orleans Saints, John Ursua here in Seattle, Sean Ryan, on the coaching staff with the Rams, he had a false positive. Matthew Stafford had a false positive. So right now, there's more false positives than positives. And where the great part about that is that if you have non-virus people going against non-virus people, you still should be able to come out of it without having much of a spread. The only spread you can see with the controlled environment of football is going to be a player going out at night and risking something that he can bring back to the team.
Does the NFL have a plan for when? Because it's probably going to happen. There's an outbreak on a team. You saw baseball was almost crippled by it with the Marlins and the Cardinals and the Braves. Like, does the NFL have a specific plan? Is the practice squad going to be 20 guys waiting to go? Like, what's the deal there?
Yeah.
Question.
Well, what they have is a 16-player practice squad, and 6 of those players can be 10-year vets, 11-year vets. That's why you're seeing right now this week, more teams like Tennessee yesterday on Wednesday, brought in 4 players. San Francisco brought in 4 players and signed those. Because now you want to try to assemble a practice squad that if you need those 6 experienced guys, you know what you have. And, you would have to think that it's going to be minimal of the spread because it can be caught so quickly. as far as, in particular, they get the NBA test that the NBA players were able to get. And so I think overall, that's why I think there's a great chance, because again, you can put a bubble effect in, the bubble being the team headquarters, the bubble being a team hotel. Remember, there's only 8 road games, and it's pretty well locked down. I mean, you can't go out of the hotel once you get to the hotel. That's why I think it, as bad as it is right now, and you have to admit it's worse now than it is at the beginning of this. And is that going to be the case? Can it get much worse in the fall? It may not, but I think that there's enough control. They should be. I know they'll start the season. I still anticipate they'll make it through the season.
Yeah, I cannot see the NFL doing what everybody else did, which was start, stop, rejoin, or don't start and alter. We all know that even just the NFL canceling the preseason is a huge, huge deal for a league that steamrolls through just about everything.